Okay guys, so if you own a ratchet of this style that does not have a locking flex head on it, but instead it has an adjustable set screw here to keep the tension on the head, a lot of times you could just go ahead and tighten up this screw, and the head on your ratchet may get tighter, and that may fix the problem for you. So if you did tighten up the set screw on it and it still has a floppy head on it, I'm going to show you guys what I do to get the heads back tight. You don't want to start over tightening the set screw here because it will strip out. If it still has a floppy head, don't keep trying to tighten this set screw. You're just going to strip it out. So I'm going to show you how to get the heads of these ratchets back nice and stiff. Okay, so what you want to do is just go ahead and remove the set screw so you can get the head all the way out. So once you get the set screw out, be careful when you remove the head because there is a lock washer in there. So this is the issue right here, just this little lock washer. So over time, being sandwiched in between the head of the ratchet and the ratchet bar, it gets flat. So this is what I like to do. So you can either replace this little lock washer, or what I like to do is just put it in my vise and then just bend the lock washer over just a little bit. The key is not to bend it over too far, but just take it and bend it over just a little bit. Okay. So now you see we got that lock washer bent over the way it should be when a lock washer first went into the ratchet. So I'm going to put my ratchet head into the vise. So you can see this little slot right here is where that lock washer sits inside the ratchet head, and the other side doesn't have it. Let me pull this out and just show you that it's just flat on this side. So make sure you get it in the right spot. Alright, so just go ahead and put our little lock washer in and face it up towards the ratchet so you can get the bar to slide back on. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and slide my bar back on. And then now that we've bent this lock washer up, you can see that it's sticking up right here. So you're going to have to grab a screwdriver, push it down while you get the bar pushed on, and then work it on. So let's get our set screw back in here and snug it up. Alright, so let's go ahead and put our set screw back in, snug it up. So I'm going to snug it up nice and tight. Alright, so now this thing is nice and
hey guys, so
stiff.
now this Pittsburgh ratchet is extremely tight. You see here, I'm shaking it as fast as I can, and we got no movement on this ratchet. And I've already gone and done it to my snap-on ratchet as well. Okay, so this is how you get them nice and tight. Alright guys, well you can see that was a pretty effective way to stiffen up the head of the ratchet. I mean, that's pretty much what happens if the head is floppy, no matter how tight you tighten the set screw. So that's pretty much what happens. The lock washer that's in between the bar here and your ratchet head, just that little lock washer in there, it gets flat over time from being sandwiched in between here. So if you tighten up this set screw and your head is still floppy, that's all you need to do is just remove the head off of it and bend that lock washer back to make it uneven again if it's gotten flat, or you could replace the lock washer altogether
and go ahead and snug it up. So hopefully this little bit of information helps somebody out there and saves you from throwing a ratchet away, or perhaps having to buy another ratchet because of that issue. And you could go ahead, fix your ratchet, and put it back in service. Anyway, guys, this is Brian 916. Thanks for tuning in. See you on the next one. So in the process of making this video, I snapped off this T20 Torx socket here. So you could see where this broke off in the process of tightening up that set screw on the ratchet. And this is interesting because all the Torx sockets are now starting to break in this set. Take a look at this. You can see the part of the Torx socket that snapped off, and I had to use this magnet to get it back out of that set screw. So interesting enough, recently I've been very afraid to use this Torx socket set because I have another broken socket right here. You can see that this T40 socket has also broke off. And then I also have this T15 socket, and this socket has twisted on me. So you can see where it's starting to twist. So I've been somewhat afraid to use this Torx socket set. I've had this for about 5 years, and it's been great up until now. But I've noticed when you deal with cheaper tools, a lot of times they will start off okay, and then 5-6 years down the line they just fail on it. Okay, so this tool set basically just expired. I had it about a little over 5 years, and whenever you run into a situation like this where they're starting to twist, they're starting to break, they're starting to snap off, it's done. Go ahead and get rid of the tool set, and don't even use some of the other tools in the set that's still appear to be good. The inverted Torx sockets seem to be okay, so I'll keep these, but as far as the Torx sockets go, it's a wrap on these Torx sockets. You're just going to end up snapping this off and getting yourself into a bad situation. So this tool set was cheap. I think I paid somewhere around 49 bucks for it, 50 bucks for it. So it's a reason why it's cheaper. And so it's time to upgrade to a better Torx socket set. So of course I went with one of my favorite brands, and that's Genius Tools. Okay, I'm not paid or sponsored by Genius Tools or anything like that, just so you guys know. Alright guys, so here's our Genius Torx socket set here. And like I said, I'm not paid by Genius Tools or anything like that, any type of sponsors. It's just I buy Genius Tools because they give you pretty decent quality tools. Definitely a professional grade quality for an affordable price. So in my opinion, it's somewhere around Gear Wrench in terms of like quality for price. And in some cases, Genius stuff is a lot better than Gear Wrench and still has right around the same price point. So here, a lot of their tools do have these inspection cards on them. So you can see there is some type of quality control before they let their products leave. And in this set, I got a T70. It's not too often you need a T70. Usually T60, T55 is some of the bigger Torx sockets, but you can see this one went clear up to T70, which is nice. And then same thing with the E20. You don't really run across a whole lot of E20s too, other than I believe Nissan flywheels. This is the only time I've ever had to use a E20 when removing a flywheel from certain Nissans. So as you guys can see, I had this Torx socket set here. I hadn't even opened it up yet. I ordered this thing probably like maybe a week and a half ago because I knew that this Torx socket set was done.
I've already twisted one of these Torx sockets. I've snapped off one, and then today while shooting this video, you guys seen another one just broke. So I wasn't even gonna do a tool review on this. I didn't plan on it. I just wanted to just replace these so that I don't get myself into a bad situation if one of these snap on me or gouge out the head of a Torx head bolt. So I just thought that would be a good segue into showing you guys that if you do buy a cheaper quality set of tools, they do work, but they won't last forever. And you got to know that going in. There's a reason why they are cheaper, and I am aware of that. But at the same time, you don't have to go crazy and spend $1 million on a socket set, spending, you know, $500, $600, $700 on a socket set like that. You can't find nice in-between brands like I typically do, or nice mid-grade markets out there, and that's usually where I like to stay. If for some reason these tools didn't work out and they started behaving much like this set, well then I would have no choice but to then leave Genius alone when it comes to the Torx sockets and maybe step up to an even higher grade tool. So anyway guys, this is Brian 916. Thanks for tuning in. See you on the next one.